Hi there, this is David, and another week brings us a lot more new JRPG news. Today we have news about .hack, Persona, Granblue Fantasy Relink, Cosmic Fantasy Collection, which is a really old series. I'm shocked that I'm even mentioning that. Ys 10, Final Fantasy XVI, and even some more stars from the Divine Force. So let's go ahead and cut through it all and see what we have to offer here. So, I came to you guys last time and I told y'all that Persona 3, 4, and 5 were coming out on the Xbox and the PlayStation, not the Switch. But we have some more news about this. We have a release date, which is October 21st, and Persona 5 Royal is getting a PS5 remaster, including all of the DLC that was previously released, and it's going to be playing at 60 frames per second as well. So it says that it already runs in 4K via backwards compatibility, all sorts of great stuff. So if you don't have this game already, I have 2 copies of it because, yeah. You probably want to pick this up on PS5, but I can't imagine that if you didn't buy it on PS4 that, you wouldn't get it on PS5. So I feel like, it's kind of like, why are they doing this? But, I know that there's some really big fans out there of this series, so you may as well pick this up, especially because it does come with all of the DLC. And it's always nice to get a release date on these games as well. Personally, I'm not going to be picking it up. I already have the base game, but, yeah, it's nice for those who would like it. Next up, remember the .hack series? That thing came out 20 years ago. Well, a 20th anniversary trailer has been released, and it looks like Namco is celebrating it with multiple campaigns, including an anniversary book that is coming out. Then we have an anniversary exhibit right here. That's in Tokyo, of course, but you could always order the book if you wanted that. Some little goodies, an art book, it looks like a commemorative CD as well are coming out in December, and then a limited time sale of digital publications of .hack, which is going on until the 4th of July, but those are only sold in Japan as well. However, the real news here, the real reason why I'm bringing all this up is because they have now filed a trademark for something called Last Collection here in the US, and they already filed that same trademark over in Japan and in Europe, but now they are filing it here. So people are thinking, hey, this could be a new .hack collection that would contain the first 4 entries of the series, rather than the .hack GU Last Recode, which already came out on the Switch as well as the PS4. This article says it's only available on the Switch, but I literally have a PS4 copy right here. So yeah, that would be really nice, and it might actually, bring down the prices of those PS2 games, because I saw them at the Retro Game Store the other day, and they were like $300, $400 just for those PS2 games, which is kind of off the chain right there, but hey, it would be nice to get an affordable collection of the entire .hack series. They haven't revealed anything officially, but hopefully that is coming down the pike. Next, Granblue Fantasy Relink, which is one of my most anticipated games of the year. Looks like that's going to be my most anticipated game of next year, because it now has been delayed till sometime in 2023. I've talked about this game before, how beautiful it looks, how gorgeous it looks, how it's an action RPG, how it gives me kind of Xenoblade vibes, but kind of sent in almost, it looks like an Atelier world with this really just beautiful, beautiful art style. So yeah, this looks just fantastic. It says it's going to be releasing on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC. So we don't know when it's going to release in December. It does say that we're going to get more details in December of this year. So yeah, I cannot wait for this game, but always, I am never going to say anything bad about a delayed game. I say bad things about bad games, not about delayed games. If your game's going to come out and it's going to be terrible, I would rather that you delay it and make it be good. So while disappointed by this news, I understand this news. And again, I'd rather have a good game a little bit delayed than a bad game coming out prematurely. Okay. Cosmic Fantasy Collection revealed for the Nintendo Switch. For those of you who are not, 40 years old and you're thinking, what is this? Cosmic Fantasy was a really, really old JRPG that came out. I think that there were only 2 games. They came out in the early 90s. It says 1990 and 1992. The first game did not come out here in America. It came out for the TurboGrafx-16. However, Cosmic Fantasy II did come out in America again for the TurboGrafx-16. I remember that was one of the games that I wanted for that system, but it was way too expensive, and my parents would only buy me an SNES because they're all the same, of course. So whenever emulation came about and I learned how to emulate the TurboGrafx-16, I definitely did play Cosmic Star Fantasy 2. It's a pretty bare-bones, basic JRPG, but it does have cool cutscenes, it has voice acting, it has that working designs humor that people either love or hate. Now, what this is saying is that there is a crowdfunding campaign seeking around $22,000 to release a Cosmic Fantasy collection for the Switch. Now, this is only in Japan. However, I can't imagine that they wouldn't release this here in America. I mean, they did release the second game, and people do love a nice collection, but they would have to translate the first game into English. So I just thought that I'd bring this up because this is nostalgic, this isn't from my childhood, this is something that I remember, and yeah, this is a good game. Now, let's move on to the big news. Ys 10. Ys 10 is officially in development. Hell yeah! Ys is one of my favorite series of all times, so I am very, very happy about this news. And it looks like it's going to be going back to the basics as well, featuring a younger Adol, around 17, 18 years old, which is where he was back in Ys 1 and 2, as well as Ys 4. And it's also not going to be featuring a party system, which is unfortunate, if you ask me. I feel like if you're going to go back to the one-on-one combat, then you should probably go back to the bump system too, but that's just me. Now, some of you may be rejoicing about this news. Some of you may be saying, hey, this kind of sucks. I like the party system. Kind of, I'm right there with you. I like the party system. But there is something else to be said here, which is that it says this sentence. While it won't be majorly influenced by the Soul series, the new combat system will have some elements inspired from the From Software franchise, such as movement and positioning. Why does everything have to be Souls? Why does everything have to be this really, really hard stuff? This Devil May Cry? Why does it always have to go back to this Souls thing? Like, I know that Ys is an action RPG. It's not like you're taking a turn-based JRPG and turning that into a Souls game. We'll get to that in a minute. But you're taking an action RPG that's kind of fun and lively and upbeat and colorful and beautiful and kind of just relaxing, where you can go out and hack and slash and have fun, into something really stressful. That's what I don't play games to stress out, to get frustrated, to die a million times, to try to learn patterns and all this. I don't play games for that. I play games to relax, to unwind after a hard days of work. I play games to chill. And it looks like games are going away from that, and I don't like that at all. I've never been a fan of the Dark Souls franchise, and I know that there's a big fan base out there. I don't get it. I don't see it. It's not for me. Just saying. Now, it says that there was also a woman starring who looks like the main heroine, who uses a one-handed axe, and their arms are connected by some string or a cord. It's not going to be taking place in the Roman Empire time. It's going to be taking place in northern Asteria, kind of like in the Scotland area of the Ys world. Yeah, it says, although it's not like Souls, like it's still intense, and you have to watch the opponent's movements, but in an Ys version, Souls like, ugh, come on. Not a fan. Not a fan. It's currently in development for some yet-to-be-announced platforms, more than likely Switch, PC, PS4, if history is anything to go by. I am staying tuned, but honestly, as much as I like the E series, I am going to wait on this one because Souls, not a fan. Speaking of not a fan, Final Fantasy XVI. What has become of my beloved series? I don't know. We saw that trailer a couple of days ago showing combat, showing how it was very Soulsy, Devil May Cry-y, that sort of thing, showing that it was not featuring a party system. It's now saying that it's featuring a non-traditional party system, whatever that means. More than likely, that means you'll probably use summons to fight alongside you that will be AI controlled. It says that you can have party members, but you can't actually control them. They want all of the control, all of the main combat focus to be on the hero Clive. It also says that it doesn't feature an open world, instead to feature large zones or large regions, kind of similar to, I guess, Pokemon Legends Arceus, where that had large regions. So I'm okay with that, and I feel like Xenoblade does the same thing. They have large regions, not really a large open world. Open worlds can be very intimidating, but I can totally explore a whole region and then move on to the next region, if you catch my drift. I do like this. Also, instead of featuring time travel like some other Final Fantasy games or like Chrono Trigger, this is going to take Clive through various stages of his life, including his teens, his 20s, and his 30s. And then, which I think is kind of funny, which should be an epic tale consuming his entire life. Because we all know with JRPG heroes, life ends at 30. You're an old man, you might as well just go into retirement. My god, I should be dead at 40. So yeah. It says here, for most of his journey, Clive will be accompanied by one or more companions. In other words, it seems the party system has been scaled back and may depend on the period of his life or the game's story. So we might get companions, we might get summons, he might turn into a summon. I don't really know. They're not really saying, but it also says that they will participate in battle too, but they'll be entirely AI driven, meaning the player only has to focus on Clive. So, yeah, I'm gonna wait on this one too. It just seems so different from the norm, different from what I love, different from what I grew up with. Hopefully it's good. It is Final Fantasy, so I'll get it eventually, but I don't know if this is a day one buy for me. Next. Tomorrow! Nintendo Direct Mini is going to showcase some third-party games. This is a scene from the Live Alive HD 2D remake, and Live Alive SNES sucked. Hopefully HD 2D remake is better. It's going to be about 25 minutes. It's going to air at 6 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time if you guys want to watch it. I'm not going to be awake at 6 a.m., but I'll probably maybe make a video giving my thoughts and impressions on it, just considering I have to look and see what's announced. You know, if there's just one or two JRPGs talked about, I might not make a video, but if there's a couple in there, you know, a few more, then I probably will. So that's something to look forward to as well. It's always good to get new announcements, and Nintendo has been pretty good with their directs lately, I've got to say. Now, last week, Square Enix hosted a 10-minute long Final Fantasy VII Anniversary Direct, where they talked about all sorts of different games in the Final Fantasy VII universe. My most anticipated game by them right now is Star Ocean. I've loved Star Ocean ever since I played the second story back on the PlayStation 1. And Star Ocean The Divine Force is showcasing, I want to say this Thursday. I want to say, oh, okay. It says June 29th at 40 minutes long. So I am definitely going to make a reaction video on this one. Please stay tuned for that, because I love some Star Ocean. I've been fallen in love with the series. It does kind of, has its high points, has its low point. Star Ocean 5 was definitely a low point. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes, and they're giving this one the time, the effort, the energy that they need in order to make it right. I know that they're going back to the basics with Star Ocean. It's featuring dual protagonists. It's featuring private actions. It's going back to the basics, going back to Star Ocean, the second story, going back to what made Star Ocean so great. Multiple planets, great exploration, cool characters and dialogue, that sort of stuff. So I am here for it. Looks like that's going to be releasing on the PS5, PS4, and it says at some point in 2002. Hopefully, we get a confirmed release date as part of this live stream. I am looking forward to that. What are y'all most excited about coming up this week in JRPG news? Do you like the Persona news, the Ys news, the Final Fantasy, the Star Ocean? What are y'all most looking forward to? Let me know in the comments, and as always, have a good day.